All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible biological mysteries out there, one that's happening inside our own bodies. We're going to talk about a system that's designed to protect us, but sometimes, for reasons we're just starting to understand, it turns on itself.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if the one thing that's supposed to be your ultimate guardian, your personal bodyguard, what if it suddenly couldn't tell the difference between you and an actual enemy? That's the core question we're tackling today.
So first, let's meet the hero of our story, the immune system. You can think of it as this amazing microscopic army inside you. It's got all these specialized soldiers, right? And they are expertly trained to hunt down and destroy any foreign invaders. We're talking bacteria, viruses, you name it, keeping you healthy. But, and this is where the story takes a huge turn, sometimes this brilliant guardian gets confused. It just makes a terrible, terrible mistake. It's like a case of biological friendly fire. Instead of attacking some outside threat, the immune system turns its incredibly powerful weapons inward, firing on the very cells it's supposed to protect. It is, quite literally, a civil war on a microscopic scale.
And that whole condition, this case of mistaken identity where the body ends up attacking itself, well, that's what we call autoimmunity.
So let's just break this down to make it super clear. A healthy immune response, that's perfect. The guardian sees a real threat, like a virus, it attacks that threat, and you're protected. Simple. But in an autoimmune response, something goes wrong. The guardian sees a perfectly healthy cell, say a skin cell, and for some reason it flags it as an enemy and launches a full-scale attack. The result? Your own body gets damaged.
Which leads to the million-dollar question, right? Why? What could possibly cause our own personal guardian to betray us like this? Well, let's play detective and look at the main suspects.
Researchers have basically narrowed it down to 3 big areas. First up, genetics. You might just inherit a blueprint that makes you a little more susceptible. Second, you've got environmental triggers. This could be anything from an infection you had years ago to exposure to a certain chemical, basically the last straw that sets things off. And third, hormones. Yep, our own hormones can play a huge role in how intense the immune response is. A really great way to think about this is like a recipe. Your genes, they might load the gun, but it's usually something in your environment, an infection, toxins, maybe even your diet, that actually pulls the trigger. And there's some really fascinating new research pointing to gut health, suggesting that a leaky gut might just be the thing that opens the door for all this trouble to start. So the really crucial thing to get here is that it's almost never just one single thing. It's more like a perfect storm, a complex mix of your genes, your environment, and your history all coming together in just the right or wrong way.
Okay, so now that we have an idea of the how and why, what about the who? I mean, just how common is this internal civil war?
Well, get this. So far, scientists have identified over 80 distinct autoimmune diseases. And honestly, that number just keeps climbing as we learn more. And we're not talking about obscure, unheard-of conditions here. You know these names. Things like type 1 diabetes, where the body's own immune system attacks the cells in the pancreas that make insulin. Or rheumatoid arthritis, where it goes after the lining of your joints. Multiple sclerosis, where the target is the protective sheath around our nerves. The list goes on and on. And when you look at who's most affected, a really clear pattern jumps out. A whopping 75%, 3/4 of all people diagnosed with autoimmune diseases, are women. It's a huge disparity, and it's believed to be linked to everything from hormones to the unique way the female immune system is built. It tends to be stronger, but maybe also a bit more prone to these kinds of mistakes. Now, to put this all into perspective, we hear a lot about heart disease and cancer, and for good reason. But look at this. An estimated 50 million people in the US alone are affected by autoimmunity. 50 million. That's not a small number. It's a massive public health issue. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that this is not some rare, fringe condition. Autoimmunity is a major, widespread, and honestly a growing public health challenge that affects millions and millions of people. And that leaves us with one last kind of profound thought. As we work to unravel this deep internal mystery, as we figure out why the immune system goes wrong, we're actually learning more than ever about what it means for it to go right. You know, Maybe unlocking the secrets of autoimmunity will end up being one of the ultimate keys to understanding health itself.
Style.